videos talking about pointers. This is the last one I'm making. It is the last one I'm making, okay? We're going to talk about the origin, use, and specific rules about pointers, okay? We're going to get terminology very clear. If I get another DM about a pointer, I will commit acts of treason against the United States of America. I will do things to populations of races that could be categorized as marginalized, right? These are things I plan on doing if I get another DM. Cool? Cool. So let's talk about it. Why did I create the pointer? What is the pointer for? If you don't know about implied moves, get off this video. Go watch Daily Bias. Okay? Implied moves are essentially, whether you realize they are there or not, are the moves that the market is making every single day. And they're very, very intentional. It's all liquidity based. They're not made up. It is just how the market works. It's kind of like when you drop an apple, it's going to fall to the ground. It's the same exact process. Okay? They're going to follow these implied moves every single time to a T. And let's talk about something very important. A fair value gap, right, is a part of my model, right? I don't just trade the fair value gap. That's retarded. I use it as a part of a bigger thing, right? You can watch videos on first fair value gaps all you want. Again, you're not going to just be able to piece it together in your entry with just this one video, but this will revolutionize your trading. I can promise you that. Why did I invent the pointer? The problem is I was taking implied moves, which are moves that the market will make, just with or without you. It's just how the market works, based off liquidity. I would take these trades, and they were great. Sometimes. Other times, I'd get retraced out of fair value gaps, and I would get cooked. Not cooked, but definitely would have to wait a little bit longer than trades. Until I realized I needed to find a way to take trades that couldn't be retraced, or I could have some measurable way to determine if that trade could get swept out or retraced. You ever taken a fair value gap, and then on that third candle, you're chilling, and then out of nowhere it just gets completely retraced, or whatever other fair value gaps you have get immediately retraced? I don't want to enter on something that could be... I mean, what is a fair value gap? It's inefficiency, right? I don't want that inefficiency to move away from me, right? I want to enter, like even if it's an expansion or whatever, I don't want to enter a trade if it's going to move too quickly under my feet. That's just not my own preference, right? I don't want to take a trade that's going to get fried. I don't want to be the liquidity. And so, that being said, we're going to go for the trade I took on Thursday, or maybe not Thursday. I feel like I took this trade a different day. Am I tripping? I think it was Friday. Was it Friday? Oh no, it was Thursday. I thought it was dead. Yeah, no, I don't know. So this was Friday's trade. This is an implied move. The market made two implied moves this day. The first move was during Trump, which we could talk about that one, but this one's a better example. It's textbook. Every trade is textbook that I take because it's just how implied moves work. This is Trump, so we're not going to talk about this, but this is another implied move. This is another implied move that the market made on this particular day. So I invented this confluence because I needed a way to find an entry that couldn't get retraced. A lot of my losing trades were being retraced. I didn't want that. Okay? So I invented the pointer, otherwise known as an efficient break of structure. It's a point in a direction after you sweep liquidity that still is proving that we can continue. There's nothing there we can continue, right? And it can't create a fair value. No fair value gap can be created on that candle, right? A fair value gap is created by a three-candle structure. And if the previous candle's width is high enough, you literally can't create the inefficiency, yet you could still break structure, right? So you get that sweep without an inefficiency. It's a way to take
Are Falcons in their throwback uniforms?
So you're cheating. All right, get it. Got it.
What? Huh? Putting the game back on? Why? Yeah. Just trying to make it look better because something looks off and I don't know what changed. And it switched when I put my extra monitor on. So
Make a trade that won't run or get cooked. Now, it requires patience because you're going to literally watch fair value gaps form and it's going to be upsetting. But I promise you, if you pay attention to pointers and the rules that we're going to set with these pointers, you will take the implied move every single time. You're not going to miss out. An implied move, important detail here, I didn't actually know about this until recently after backtesting, like recently as in the last couple months. An implied move, the proper implied move always has a pointer of some degree on some time frame. The time frames I use for pointers, I will never take a trade on a 1 minute time frame, never. I look for pointers on the 2, 3, and 5 minute time frames. My entries are on the 2, 3, and 5 minute time frames. The reason why I don't use the 1, it's usually never enough information. It's usually never enough. It's just a personal rule of mine. I'm not going to take a trade on the 1 minute time frame. I will think about those pointers forming, but I want to see it translate up time frames. This is a topic I talk about all the time. Low time frame alignment with a higher time frame, using 1, 2, and 3, and 5 with like a 15, or 1, 2, and 3, and 5. Some way of aligning your time frames so that your confidences move up for validations and move down for invalidations, right? You want to make sure that you're validating in your favor and also getting out at a reasonable time frame. If you get in at a 5 minute and out in a 5 minute, usually you're too late. If you get in on a 3 minute and out in a 5 minute, usually you're going to win a lot more trades, but your risk reward is going to be cooked because the trades that you do lose take longer to lose. You have to think about that process, right? So anyways, we're not going to go over this example. We're going to go over this example here. This is an applied move. This is a trade that I took. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm around the corner and you still hit me. That's phenomenal.
How's that game going? Oh, 7-7.
Yeah.
Shocking. Throwback uniforms for the fucking Falcons, though.
We'll see how it goes. No, I'm not expecting great things from it.
Who's forward for the Bills?
So when it wasn't letting me watch it. So
You're good.
Okay, so we're going to talk about it, right? We're not using anything else about my strategy, nothing else. Today is strictly talking about pointers. So if you want the actual entry model, I'm sorry, I don't have a full video going over all of my teachings. That's just, it would take too much time, literally probably 16 hours to go over my entire model sitting down. I'm not doing that, but I will make videos to teach you guys. You can learn a lot from me and my streams as well. It's your job to put it together though. I'm putting all the stuff out there for free, so you got to do the work, okay? That being said, what does the pointer look like? If you can see on this 5 minute time frame, we have a nice little implied move. The implied move, in this case, again, if you don't know about implied moves, this is pointless. Go watch it. There should be a thing over. Over there. By the way, subscribe. That'd be lit. Lit City. Also, last pit plug. Code Troop, 80% off all evals on ApexTraderFunny.com. All the money I make from that goes right back to you. I buy accounts. We have over 300, 400K, I think, to give out in accounts because of you guys, and so I'll be giving out more. If you want more accounts to be given out per week, start buying accounts. It's like $30 per account. It's nothing. So check them out. They have 1-day pass until the end of May, so definitely check them out. I'll be loading up on the end of the month. Anyways, Code Troop, baby. Also, tap into my kick streams. You can watch me live. You don't just gotta watch me teach. Let's talk about it, right? Again, not talking about any other thing else besides the pointers. So again, entry model somewhere in here. Bearish confluence above a previous daily high, lower to EQ. You can't see this yourself. You need to study daily biases. Again, the video is at the top right-hand corner. Okay, very clearly an implied move off of this bearish confluence lower. That bearish confluence is a volume density. Again, videos on that later to come, but you get the idea. Okay, so we now know the implied move existed after the fact. So where do we find our entry, right? So if I zoom in on this price action and I take a look at this area right here, if I get a little close look, do you know?
My love. Are the extra pillows helping? Good. So I'm gonna go get. You need one for your head when you lean back.
Okay.
Just making sure.
You go.
Huh?
Thank you, though.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you.
You're a pussy ass bitch. Let me get a gun at least. 8. It's fucking retarded. I can't even get a weapon.
Notice how, okay, we swept liquidity, we created inefficiency, proving that this static sweep has a level of sell orders sufficient enough to create inefficiency. Cool. But what entry are you getting on this, right? Where do you take your entry? Most people like to get an entry on the validation of a fair value gap before it moves in a particular direction. This is a little bit too strong a way for me to want to take a trade like this. Yes, we have a break of structure, but these are relatively bullish. Buy side or sell side sweep, we move to the upside. There's something here, we end up breaking that down, but there's no point where we can take a trade at a decent risk to reward, because think about it, right? You want your stops to, you want your stops to be above the external source of liquidity. So even if we had an entry, okay, it would be somewhere down here, which is cruddy risk reward. So you want to have a retest of these fair value gaps, but enter on an efficient break of structure. If you don't get that efficient break of structure, then it's cooked. You'd never take your entry. And an important rule, the first rule we're going to talk about is essentially, in order for you to have that entry, you have to have A, the efficient break of structure, and 2, it must create an inefficiency on a 2-minute time frame or higher, something like that. Okay, don't go with the 1 minute. It's fine. Just go with some type of higher time frame, at least greater than a 1 minute. It must create an inefficiency after it's made. It must create an inefficiency, and we cannot break structure over it. Okay, if we do, that's fine, but we have to potentially consider closing that trade, right? The fourth rule is that if we do break structure, and this is kind of like 3A, if we do break structure, it must replace itself with a new pointer in that direction. Meaning, if a bearish pointer gets broken structure over, it has to replace with another bearish pointer. Sub rule on that one is if it is replaced by an opposite direction, walk. And the last rule, if 3 or more pointers in different directions form, walk. It's a sign of consolidation. Okay? It's an efficient break of structure, so it's a way we can break structure efficiently without getting retraced under the fair value gap. It's a moment that we can take advantage of to not get retraced and get a good entry, but also if it doesn't create that inefficiency, the market state is proven ineffective and low volume, and so you want to get out as well. It's like a speculative buy order. It's a way to get literally, you guys see me top ticking, that's how I top tick, because I get in on a slight amount. It's being a successful trader is getting in with the smallest amount of confirmation, but enough to have a high win rate, and not enough to tank it with risk reward, right? You want to get that moment in between speculation and confidence. When those cross and it's super thin, that's what makes the best traders, right? Obviously, I'm not going to get in on this little tick rate. I'm not going to top tick it by that degree. Okay, I'm not one of those guys. Like, that's insanity. But I'm going to get pretty close. Okay, we have a volume density in here, not important. We'll talk about that later. And there's first fair value gap theory, which again, I'll do the mathematics behind that real quick, just so I can have a little bit more to talk about with this, about where we're taking our entry, because obviously I use first fair value gap theory, a theory that I invented as well. In this case, I think there was one, I remember there being something above me actually, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty confident there was something above us. Inverses, I think? I remember most of the price action I trade. I believe there was inverses over here. I could be wrong. So there was something here I remember us tapping into. Was it inverses? It must have been. I don't know. Not important. Where was I? Back over here. Okay. If I go to the 3-minute time frame, we'll just use a 3-minute first fair value gap in this particular instance. We have our order block. We have our first 3-minute first fair value. Oh, my settings are cooked. Probably from teaching this weekend. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we'll just use a 3-minute. I don't want to spend too much time talking about first fair value gap theory. If you have not watched that video, it's free sauce, guys. It's free sauce. Anyways, first fair value. Where do we find an entry? Okay.
Didn't even get the guy inside. That's fucking wild. Guy's inside, still to your right. He's just laying in a corner. Man, you guys are deaf and dumb.
Huh?
No Gabba, right?
No Gabba. No. Oh.
Why did you read my mind? What are you? I was about to literally ask you. What the fuck is that?
The correct thing.
I mean, you really stop.
I mean, what kind of sweet are you eating? Oh, loser. So like cookie kind of sweet? Still too much?
Well, there's multiple ways to find that entry. There's multiple and various ways to find that entry. A pointer is an efficient break of structure that it breaks structure over some relative lower high that validates a sweep. A sweep in one direction with an internal break of structure. It's not it's not super amazing. It's not like, okay, we are creating fair value gap. It's just enough to find that little moment. And combined with first fair value gap theory and a bunch of my other confluences that I use
Are they
and
good?
have invented, it's incredibly effective. You can see
Is it chewy? Squish it.
Like I said, they're probably staying with us,
Hopefully this will make us sick. They're over a month and a half old.
here we have a buy side sweep test of this first for value, test of this volume density from all the way back here. You can see buy side sweep creates a break of structure to the downside. You're probably like, where's the break of structure? This is an internal break of structure. We're breaking internal structure. We're breaking past these lows. Not anything crazy. It's not anything crazy, but it establishes our pointer. Okay, it establishes our pointer. What is the pointer? Well, on the 3-minute time frame, we have a pointer right here. I'm gonna make these blue just so we can pay attention to them, or we'll make them purple. I've never used purple yet. We'll use purple. Pointers are purple. Oh wait, that sounds lit. I'm down, and we'll turn down the opacity a little bit so we can write this in. This is our 3-minute pointer. Okay, once you have the pointer, you have the ability to take trades. This is where you use low time frame alignment and make sure that lower time frames create the inefficiencies. Anything past the 3-minute pointer, fair game as long as we're creating inefficiencies, right? You want to see it stay above, below, in this case, below the pointer. It's an efficient break of structure you can get in on, right? You can start queuing buy orders, queuing those orders, as long as we create those inefficiencies. You also want to see that translation of the pointer on other time frames, right? You want to see that efficient break. You can see it's the same model here. We have a 2-minute here as well. There, and then I'll go to the 5-minute. You can see we had a 5-minute as well, right? So it's a 3 and 5-minute pointer. Realistically, it's a 2, 3, and 5-minute pointer. So that's a super high confidence pointer. Now, what do we need to follow this pointer? An inefficiency to confirm that entry, right? You want to have that inefficiency form, and you can see while that pointer is forming, you're actually creating an inefficiency on a lower time frame. Bingo! This is how pointers work. You want to create the pointer and create a lower time frame inefficiency. Combine the two: low time frame, high time frame. 2 time frame alignment essentially. You get your entry on that higher time frame break of structure with the confirmation of it being a See, where does that fair value gap start to form? Around 532. When does that pointer close? Around 530. So it is a little bit more speculative, right? It's a little bit more speculative, but we already have the inefficiency. You already have the first fair value gap. You already have that, right? So you're chilling. We did replace that 3 minute, or not replace, we did sweep out on the 2, but didn't confirm on the 3. New order block, so you'd want it to create its own first fair value gap, so you drop to the 1 minute time frame. Does it create a 1 minute first fair value gap? Yes, it does. Does it create a 2 minute first fair value gap? Yes, it does. Never use a 1 minute pointer, only the 2, 3, and 5s, which are still validations. You can see we're validating a first fair value gap here with an internal break after a buy side sweep. So this is all the buy side sweep, meaning liquidity here with a break. That's everything we need. With a validation of first fair value gap, as long as it creates inefficiencies afterwards, you are good. I will start queuing my orders off of these every single time, no exception. I always queue my orders. If the inefficiency does not form, I exit. It's a speculative buy order, and you can see it is quite literally as almost top tick as you can get. Okay, and then you want to see that form on the lowest time frame possible, and that translation from the 1 to the 2, whatever. The first fair value gap that formed after the pointer was on the 2 minute time frame. It looks like, yeah, 2 minute time frame. Right here, right? There's that 2 minute first fair value gap. This is all good. Your stops are going to be super tight. Once the pointer forms, you can step back. Now here's the problem with pointers. A lot of people will use pointers, these efficient breaks of structure, incorrectly when price is around a consolidation area like price was in here, right? You'll see all these pointers. If I do a good example is, we'll go over this trade itself. You can see it's actually the start of the implied move. Like I said, every implied move has a pointer somewhere on some time frame. It has to. It's like a moment. Think about it, right? A reversal is some absorption of liquidity above the current external source, right? So you're tapping that liquidity. It's like price stalls. So it's going to create that. It's like a little bit of a lighter break of structure. It's still important because that's what pulls in. That's what confirms direction, right? It's kind of like a little bit of a stall, a little bit of a gear shift. It's not perfectly inefficient, and that's why it's beautiful, because most people aren't taking those entries. That being said, we never got that on any lower time frame here on this, and even if we did, it broke structure, right? There was no good pointer in here, so there was no entry. We had, if you take a look here, we did have a pointer entry here, right? This is a pointer, and your stops, again, above the order block, this is a pointer. This would technically be valid for an entry. The only reason you potentially might not be taking a trade like this is because you're already breaking structure over pointers down here. That's what my next subject was, is a lot of people are using them incorrectly. It is an efficient break of structure. What market state is efficient? Consolidations and accumulations. Naturally, it is the most efficient market state because buyers and sellers are relatively equal in strength. And so what do you think it's going to do? It's going to consolidate. So it's going to create efficiency. It's going to show efficiency. If I show you an example of this, this is a perfect example of this next day. Okay, we have so many pointers, right? This is how I know how to walk. We'll go on the 5 minute time frame. just to use the 5-minute pointers, higher time frame pointers. You can see, wait, no, was it the 3-minute? Shit, I think it was. Nope, no entries yet. Let me double check. Yeah, nothing yet. Nothing yet. We'll let it run. We'll let it ride the whole day, and then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, right here. Pointer break of structure, validation. This is technically an implied move. We're already on EQ. This is a perfect example. We're already on EQ. We know we're going to consolidate. We know how Friday worked anyway, so obviously that's going to happen. But if you zoom in here, right, even the 5-minute pointer, the rule is if we break structure over this pointer, right, if we break structure over that pointer, it has to be a full candle close, then it is invalid, right? And notice how we replace that pointer with another pointer down here. Then we broke structure on that yet again. So we're breaking structure over multiple pointers, and we're replacing them with oppositely signed pointers. We have an oppositely signed pointer right here, right? So we replace this guy and this guy with an oppositely signed pointer. Not good. Buy side sweep with an internal break pointer, and then it's replaced by another pointer. You see how this right here, we buy side sweep and a pointer, so that's very bearish, immediately gets broken structure over and replaced with a bullish pointer. High sign of consolidation. They are efficient breaks of structure. You have to use them when they're applicable, meaning at the top and bottom of external range liquidity when you're going from a consolidation to an expansion, which is the hardest part, because remember, it's an efficient break of structure, so you have to kind of wait on the speculative buy order or speculative sell order. If you're taking a buy off of a consolidation or a sell off of a consolidation, you have to wait for that moment to happen and kind of just feel it out, feel it out, feel it out. It really does suck. It's very, very, very difficult to do, and you will be on the market all day. When it's best used is when you're already at an external range liquidity, like an expansion or like a retracement, and you retrace from that or retrace up from there, from those external sources, retrace lower, retrace higher. That's a really helpful use case of a pointer. You can use them in consolidations. That's not to say you can't. It's the same exact process. It's just you're going to be on the market way longer trying to wait for a valid pointer. When they stop replacing the pointers, like our rule says, first of all, if 3 or more pointers break in different if 3 pointers break or form in different directions, you walk for the day. It's a preemptive form of consolidation. Well, I can just show you in real time this rule playing out. Our first pointer, we're just using the 5-minute time frame. This is not even considering the 3-minute time frame. We're just using the 5. If I just outline the first 3 pointers in here, we'll go 1, 2.
I thought you were gaming.
I am. I'm
3.
watching a
You
video real quick.
Watching the market.
No, well, kind of. I don't know why, but there's a lot of people buying right now. Not really. I mean, so when I go down here, that tells you how many people are buying. Versus like here earlier today, there was 13,000. Like, yeah. How many points did this just move up? 95 times 4 times 1.25. $500 move right here.
So that helped me out going downstairs.
Yeah, I gotta figure out why I should. What are we going on here for?
Look.
Do whatever else. Yeah. Why the? Okay.
Walk at this point. We have multiple colored pointers in here, different directions forming over and over. 4, right? And you can see high sonic consolidation. I would probably walk somewhere in here anyways, because, oh wait, I didn't even see that. Yeah, we would have walked right here. Another pointer right here, right? Cell side sweep, internal break. We would walk. We're already on EQ anyways. Pointers are really, very difficult to use on EQ. That's where you want to just be very patient. Equilibrium trading requires skill. If you're not ready for that, you're not ready for that level of like time in the charts, just trade retracements and expansions. That's the best thing you can do. Okay, so for now, you can see we would have walked at this point, and look what happened the rest of this day. We skipped, and you saved yourself an entire day. The rule plays out every single time. I urge you to backtest. These aren't just random numbers I pulled out of my butt. These are actual numbers that I have come together with and been like, okay, statistically, by that third pointer, high sonic consolidation, you have to wait till we reach an external source of liquidity. You need to have your own entry model, obviously. I'm not going to show that to you today. But the idea is super simple. If you can get in off of an efficient break of structure, you can't get retraced by a fair value gap. As long as you, after that efficient break, it's like a stall. After that efficient break, then you make inefficiencies, boom, bingo. Low time frame inefficiencies, higher time frame pointer. Not really higher time frame, okay? Don't use any more than a 5 or 15. It's useless past that point. But we had a 2, 3, and 5 minute pointer that then created the inefficiency off of a first fair value gap, off of a volume density, off of an order block, off of bias, taking out all this low resistance liquidity, right? You can also target pointers as well. You can target pointers in here for take profits, but for now, we'll talk about that in another video when it comes to external range liquidity. But the rules are this, okay? It's an efficient break of structure, meaning it's showing there's liquidity there. It must create an efficiency right after in order for it to be a valid pointer entry, okay? And we can't break structure over it. And if we do break structure over it, it has to replace with the same sign. So down here, you can see we had a bullish pointer and then a bearish pointer. So it fails that rule. We would walk at that point. Okay, if it replaces it with the opposite sign, you walk. If 3 break or 3 replace, you walk. It is an efficient break of structure. It is as simple as that. It cannot get any more simple than this. These are the rules for pointers. These are how they work. I call them pointers. This is more origin. I call them pointers because it's where my eyes go when I'm looking for an entry. That's all it is. I'm pointing to where I would potentially find entries if we create inefficiencies on lower time frames and prove that there's volume there that we can sustain to the downside. Now, if it fails, what is that telling me? That we're efficient at this level of price action. We either need to go higher to another source of external range liquidity, or, you guessed it, we're consolidating. It's literally that simple. It is that simple.
Right.
I know.
Sorry, like, I don't know how we've been this confused about it. That's it, son. It is that easy. I promise you. Incorporate this, learn how to use efficient breaks of structure, and they will change your life. I guarantee you. Bye-bye, troop.
I'm told this will be one of the easiest AMD ultimate $5,000 tech upgrades that we have ever done. Because you see, Robert here, one of our longest standing editors, actually built a computer, a whole damn battle station for himself last year. So all he put on his wish list was a simple old NAS to help store old projects that he no longer works on. So what's the deal? You getting ready to leave me? Like everyone leaves me?
You know, it's checking about 2 months or whatever, you know, we'll see.
Wow, that was a far less reassuring answer than I expected. Okay, so it's just a giant homework folder then.
Pretty much, yeah. I have some old, I actually have a lot of stuff that's just on like loose, like portable hard drives and that's just sitting there, and it's like, I need a
Oh. So, look, I was telling you about the tax thing with the kind of trading. So, hypothetically speaking, I make 100,000. 60% of that is taxed at 20% at a fixed rate. 40% of it is taxed at whatever tax bracket that 40% would be. So since it's 40,000, I'd be in the 12% tax bracket. So you're basically getting a tax break and you're making like 85,000 a year versus if I was actually making 100,000 at my job, I'd only be taking home 60,000. I just told you, and I never did. I'll be done nerding for you. I love you. I know you don't feel good. He looks lost. Oh, you're camping, little bitch, aren't you? Nah, you're just an inbred. I get it. Was it good?
I made something.
Oh, I don't like the cheese ones. They don't taste right to me. I'm sorry.
I forgot to get a drink.
What do you want? Ocean water? You gonna go get it? You. Okay. I love you. You have a good night. Okay. So it's 28-7?
21 cents.
Oh. Damn, 9 receptions for 147 yards. Jesus, London.
Financial market with Forex.com. Forex, or FX, involves trading one currency for another. It's a big deal with a daily turnover of 7
What's good, chitlets? Welcome to my new and improved breaking structure video. As you guys know, I would never take a trade without seeing a breaking structure on any of my execution timeframes. And for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is TJR. I've made over 7 figures in profit day trading just at the ripe age of 22 years old. And today I'm going to show you guys how to identify breaking structures in the market, and on top of that, how you guys can use breaking structures to make higher profits.
fucking laying in the grass? Come on, brother. Fucking weirdos. You need anything? Promise? Okay. Maybe we can get something sweet tomorrow, okay? Okay.
Probability trades within the market. And on top of that, I know that this is a video that would have helped me a lot as an unprofitable trader when I was learning how to trade. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, boom, chart work time. Okay, so first and foremost, before we actually get into the chart, this is the only breakup structure video that you guys will ever need. I'm going to explain what a breakup structure is, how to spot it, and then how you guys can start taking trades with it so you guys can finally turn profitable. My name is CJR. I made over 7 figures day trading at the age of 23, and literally every single trade that I take has a breakup structure involved with it. So with that being said, let's jump onto the charts and let's get into it. So the very first thing that we need to understand is what is a breakup structure, or for short, BOS. Okay, breakup structure. So what is a breakup structure? The definition is literally in the name. It's a trend change, okay? It is the current market structure breaking, okay? It's showing a change in order flow. It's showing a change in trend. It's showing a change in structure. All of those are literally the same exact thing. So what is it? It is a trend change. It's a confluence that shows us when the trend is changing and when the trend or the current trend that we're in is changing and breaking structure into a new trend. So in order to understand what a breakup structure is, we need to understand what a trend is, okay? So we're going one definition into another definition. As you guys know, this is super simple day trading knowledge. There's 3 different ways that the market can move. In an uptrend, how do we identify an uptrend? Higher highs and higher lows, okay? And then the second way that the market can move is in a downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. The third way that the market can move is through consolidation, where we are pretty much just moving sideways. There's no identifiable trend, and that is where we will be able to identify breakouts in, which is a form of breakup structure, but it's a little bit different than how we identify a breakup structure with its current trend. I'll show you guys how to identify a breakup structure.
I'm building a bicycle. Pussy boy.
Within an uptrend, within a downtrend, and then also how to spot a breakout from consolidation or that sideways. So it is a trend change. So now that we know what a trend is, we know
So B.
that an uptrend moves in higher highs and higher lows, and a downtrend moves in lower highs and lower lows. We also need to understand what a high and what a low is. We're going even deeper. So we go from definition to definition to definition. And then once we understand what a high and a low is within the market, and I know you guys might think you guys know what it is, but
I'm gonna get up, B.
this is what
You have a good